In the year 1983, Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird created the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, unaware that they were creating a legacy that would be as popular as Marvel and DC Comics. Along with the Turtles, they also created an array of supervillains who were some of the most feared villains of all time. But alas, only a few of the villains, like the Shredder and Krang, stood the test of time, and most of the other villains from the franchise were put under a rug. In today's video, we will talk about some of the most underrated villains of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and be prepared to hear some names you've never heard before. But before we get started with the video, we have a small request for you. If you like our content, subscribe to us and like this video. It might just be a simple click for you, but it means a lot to us. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's get started. The Rat King. The Rat King is one of the most underrated villains of the Turtles, and we are sure most of the fans don't even know about him. Well, just like his name sounds, the Rat King possesses the ability to talk with and control rats. Not much of a superpower, right? Well, wait till he uses his rats to devour your skin and flesh. The origin of the Rat King has changed a lot from continuity to continuity, but we will talk about his origins from the Mirage comic series and 1987 TV series. Rat King made his first comic appearance in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue number 4 as the main villain of the storyline. Initially, he is shown to be living in the swamps and getting out of them, only to enter an abandoned industrial park to take shelter from the upcoming winter. Right around the same time, the Turtles and Casey Jones come to the park to train, and the Rat King assumes them to be some kind of monster and starts tailing them. He even manages to capture Mikey. But Mikey escapes, and later, the Rat King goes into a fight with Leonardo, which he loses after Leo uses his shurikens to impale him and sends him to the depths of a silo. Although everyone thought the tale of the Rat King was finished, the Rat King appears again in one of the storylines called The City at War. During that storyline, Splinter falls into a pit, injures himself, and is unable to get out of it. That's when Rat King appears to him, gives him some really cryptic advice, and urges him to eat the rats. Splinter, being a mutant rat, thinks that it is cannibalism and fights back his urges. But the Rat King succeeds in manipulating him, and Splinter finally resorts to cannibalism. Later, the Turtles rescue Splinter, and he finds that the Rat King has been dead for a long time, leaving the audience confused about who Splinter was talking to all this time. The character of the Rat King also appears in the 1987 TV series, where he acts as a recurring villain of the Turtles with the plans of world dominance with his rats. He believed that rats were superior to humans in every way and wanted to form his own nation, but almost all the time, the Turtles used to thwart his plans. Initially, he is shown to have the powers to control the rats with a flute, like the Pied Piper, and his powers are so strong that he once controls Splinter and makes him attack the Turtles. In the recent renditions of this character, he is shown as a member of the Pantheon, who are literally godlike beings who have influenced human civilization for aeons. What makes this character unique is its ability to control trivial beings like rats and use them in creative ways that you can't even think of. King Komodo. King Komodo is a mutant Komodo dragon appearing in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comics. Initially, he appeared as a pet animal of Go Komodo, but later, he was injected with the mutagen and the DNA of Go Komodo, making him Go Komodo's half-brother. During the Turtles' rescue mission to save Splinter, they came face to face with King Komodo, and it gave them a tough fight. Everyone believed that King Komodo met his demise when Dawn blew up Go Komodo's castle, but King Komodo was alive and was being trained by Pimiko, the possible daughter of Orokusaki. King Komodo makes another appearance in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue number 17, where he kills 2 children. Initially, everyone thought that it was done by Leatherhead. So, Leo gives him a visit, but finds the mutant alligator tied and gagged. Leo was ambushed and captured by King Komodo and his men. Although Leo later defeats him with the help of Mikey and Casey, King Komodo gives him a tough fight with his powers to control the minds of beings inferior to him. Even though King Komodo was a powerful enemy, he was not given the limelight and almost always stayed as a secondary villain to the Turtles.
Let's see how funny you are after we bash your heads in!
Bop and Rocksteady. Bop and Rocksteady were actually humans who worked for the Shredder and Foot Clan. During one storyline, they were sent to stop April from reporting about the crimes in the city. However, April runs into the sewers and encounters the Turtles, who easily defeats all the gang members, including Bop and Rocksteady. Thus, Shredder makes a plan to create 2 mutants of his own to defeat the Turtles once and for all. Humiliated by their defeat at the hands of the Turtles, Bop and Rocksteady volunteered to go through the procedure and came out as mutants. The best part about them was that they still retained their human-level intelligence, but the worst part is that they were not that intelligent to begin with. The Shredder has employed this dynamic duo multiple times, and due to their overwhelming power and excellent teamwork, they have easily overpowered the Turtles countless times. However, they were mainly defeated due to their lack of intelligence. Although we have seen a lot of their appearances in all the formats, this dynamic duo is mostly used for comedic relief and is not used to their full potential.
Guys, I've got to be honest. Therefore, rings!
Hypnopotamus. Hypnopotamus was a human named Mesmer Ron who transformed into a mutant after being exposed to the ooze. As a human, Mesmer used to work as a magician, and after becoming a mutant, he developed the powers to hypnotize anyone and use them to do his bidding. During one of the instances, he was able to control a theater full of people. His powers even worked on people who had strong willpower because, during one instance, he was even able to control Master Splinter. Even after having such a broken power, Hypnopotamus is mainly used for comedic relief because the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles wanted to cater to a younger audience. If Hypnopotamus is shown with his full powers in a slightly serious manner, he might be the most formidable opponent the Turtles will go against. Think about it. No one, I mean literally no character, is resistant to Hypnopotamus's hypnosis, so it would require the Turtles to come up with a creative method to defeat this villain. Not a goofy one where they tried to distract Hypno by dressing as a female hippopotamus. Old Hob. Old Hob was originally a pet cat who was later thrown into the streets by his owner. He had a miserable life as a stray cat, and on one occasion he even chased after a pre-mutated Raph, but Splinter came to his rescue by injuring one of Hob's eyes. Later, Hob also came into contact with the ooze and became a mutant. After becoming a mutant, Hob teamed up with Stockman to defeat Splinter and the Turtles. After most of his attempts are futile, Stockman decides to get rid of Hob by shooting him, but Hob is smart and saves his own life using the ooze. Later, he teamed up with Slash and formed the mighty Mutanimals to protect the mutants. Old Hob was strong enough to single-handedly take down both Casey and Raph until all the other Turtles came to their brother's aid. Apart from being physically capable, Hob is also one of the most intelligent characters in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He played a significant role in the fall of the Null group, and was also the sole reason for the formation of Mutant Town. Even after playing integral roles in multiple storylines, Old Hob remains one of the most underrated villains because he is not given the limelight he deserves. Madame Null. The IDW continuity gave us another villain who might just be so underrated that most Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fans would be unaware of her presence. But trust us when we say she is a force not to be meddled with. Madame Null is the CEO of the Null Group, which is involved in the business of genetically engineering mutants and selling them for profit. Mutants like Sally Pride, Man Ray, and Mutagen Man are some of her creations. Apart from her never-ending wealth, she is extremely durable, even surviving an attack from a rocket-propelled grenade strike. She also possesses the ability to drain out anyone's life force, is probably from a different dimension, and closely resembles the appearance of a devil. Even though she was defeated by the Mutanimals, she appeared again and formed a truce with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in order to properly study Stockman's technology. Her last appearance in the comics was during the Armageddon War storyline. Madame Null is actually a wasted character, with the writers not properly utilizing her. Given the proper circumstances, we are sure Madame Null might even be able to defeat the Turtles using her nefarious schemes. Armagon. The Armagon is a shark-like creature who literally devours time. He is the main antagonist of the current run of the IDW Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles road to issue number 150. In a distant future, Armagon is responsible for the deaths of all of the Turtles, and Dawn is the only person who could prevent this future from ever existing. The Armagon possesses the ability to transport himself to any time or dimension he wants and kill anyone he desires. Although his backstory and lore have not been properly explored yet, we are sure he will be one of the toughest enemies that the Turtles have ever faced because he is a cosmic being capable of devouring time and space. With almost no knowledge about this time devourer, we are unsure how the Turtles will defeat this mighty creature. We can only wait for the story to unfold and see what happens to Armagon and how the Turtles prevent the bleak future from ever existing.
Out of my way!
Baxter Stockman. Despite being a mere human without any fighting skills, Baxter Stockman has been one of the most recurring enemies of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Different continuities of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles have different origins for the evil scientist. Baxter Stockman made his first appearance in the 2012 animated TV series in an episode titled, I think his name is Baxter Stockman. When he was trying to get inside the TCRI building in an armor, he was caught and defeated by the Turtles. Later, Baxter comes across Don's T-Pod, upgrades his armor using the technology, and takes down the Turtles. The Turtles then consult Splinter and, using his knowledge, take down Baxter Stockman for good. But Baxter was adamant and kept on appearing again and again throughout the series. Later down the line, Baxter becomes a mutant housefly after being exposed to the ooze. As a mutant housefly, Baxter Stockman repeatedly created trouble for the Turtles during the episodes of the TV series. Baxter also played a significant role in the IDW comics, where instead of being a comic relief character, we were shown what this mad scientist was truly capable of. He defeated the Turtles on multiple occasions using his Mausers, and even became the mayor of New York City, playing a critical role in shaping the world of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We know a mad scientist is a popular trope among comic books, but Stockman is literally one of the most evil guys the Turtles have faced because instead of facing the Turtles head-on, Stockman creates terrific plans and plays mind games with them. He is probably one of the most cunning villains the Turtles have faced and does not get the credit he deserves.
We've broken your statue, Prime Leader. So sorry.
Xan Raman. Xan Raman is a recurring villain of the Turtles in the 2003 TV series. He was the director of the Triceraton Republic, which was the natural enemy of the Federation. Xan Raman managed to capture Fugitoid and the Turtles and coerce the robot to create a teleportation device for him, or he would harm the Turtles. But later, the Turtles and the Fugitoid managed to escape the Republic. However, Xan Raman tracked down the Turtles and Fugitoid and even attempted to take over the Earth in an attempt to find the Fugitoid. Xan Raman is a ruthless and self-centered leader of the Triceraton Republic who was willing to go to any lengths to accomplish his goals. Eventually, he was dethroned because of his brutality and was last seen in a cell adjacent to General Blank. Xan Raman is a dishonest, arrogant, vicious, and merciless Triceraton who only values his power. He is the kind of ruler who expects complete loyalty from his subordinates, but won't hesitate to use his soldiers as his shield to escape being captured. He is one of the most underrated villains of the Turtles, because if he wanted to, he might have taken over the Earth because all the earthly weapons were useless against his army.
Keep away from my son!
Agent Bishop. Agent Bishop is a name we are sure most of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fans might have never heard of, but he might just be the strongest human on Earth to go face to face with the Turtles. Agent Bishop is a recurring enemy of the Turtles, and he is clearly inspired by Agent Smith from the Matrix franchise. He is a special agent of the US Special Forces and head of the Earth Protection Force. He made his first appearance in a 2003 TV series where it was shown that he was kidnapped and experimented on by some aliens and later returned to Earth. Thus, he became extremely paranoid about alien attacks on Earth and has been working for the US government to prevent a possible alien invasion. He became an enemy of the Turtles because he considered them extraterrestrial aliens. The fun fact is that he had been alive for hundreds of years thanks to the experiments he went through with the alien race that kidnapped him. He is ruthless and goes to any lengths to get what he wants. In one instance, he even kidnapped Raph and tortured him to learn more about his body. However, his character is later transformed and he becomes an ally of the Turtles. Arnold Jones. Arnold Jones, or Hun, was first introduced in the 2003 TV series, where he is shown as a buffed guy who was powerful enough to take down all 4 turtles simultaneously. He was the leader of the Purple Dragon Gang and later became an ally of the Shredder. Under the leadership of the Shredder, he would commit some vile acts and go on to fight the Turtles multiple times. However, his origin was tweaked a bit in the IDW comics, and he is shown as the father of Casey Jones. After the passing of Casey's mother, Arnold fell into depression and would take out his frustration on his son. Raph saves Casey from Arnold, and Splinter takes the boy under his wing. In this continuity, Arnold goes on to join the Foot Clan, and Shredder transforms him into a big, muscular menace by using the mutagen on him. He remained loyal to the Shredder, and, hence, came into conflict with his son multiple times during his battles with the Turtles. Later, Arnold allied with Agent Bishop to take down the Turtles once and for all. But when Bishop shoots Casey, Arnold protects his son and dies in the arms of Casey Jones. Although in this IDW continuity, Hun was given a proper backstory and had reasons for doing the things that he did. The 2003 TV series version was actually about Menace, who was just mean and vile from the get-go. Leave it to him, and he would even tear apart the Turtles upon the orders of the Shredder.
Federation technology at our disposal. We can't find one blasted fugitoid!
General Blank. The character of General Blank is similar to that of Xan Raman. He is the leader of the Federation and wanted to acquire a teleportation device that would allow him to make surprise attacks and annihilate his enemies. He forced Professor Honeycutt to develop the teleportation device, but the professor refused, and when he later turned into a robot, General Blank asked his soldiers to catch him, but the Fugitoid was saved by the arrival of the Turtles. When the Fugitoid came to Earth after the Triceraton invasion, General Blank allied himself with Agent Bishop in order to catch the Fugitoid once and for all, but the Fugitoid had already erased all the information about the creation of the teleporter and sacrificed himself to stop both the Triceratons and the Federation. Blank was captured and was seen in the cell adjacent to Xan Raman. Blank is a warmonger. He is ruthless and self-centered like Xan Raman. He has no regard for others' lives except for his own. He only cares about conquering and destroying other planets. He was never afraid of making hard decisions and sacrificing his own soldiers for his personal gain. We are sure that if Blank had been successful in acquiring the teleportation technology, he would have become unstoppable and invincible.
These guys are full-on armored!
Marvelous verdict. So that's it for the list. Although we covered most of the underrated characters, we are sure there would be some more characters that we might have missed out on. And if you think we have missed out on any other underrated villains of the Turtles, do mention their name in the comment section. As longtime fans of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, we want to see some of these villains animated for the upcoming animated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles have so much lore and so many interesting villains that one can make an intricate universe out of them, like the MCU. So yes, who do you think is a worthy opponent of the Turtles that should appear in the Mutant Mayhem sequel? With that being said, if you like our content, like and subscribe if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.